You sent 200 applications, you got 3 responses. That's not a you problem, that's a system problem. And right now, most job seekers are making it worse, not because they aren't qualified, not because their experience doesn't matter, but because they are using AI the exact same way as everyone else. Today, I am going to show you a completely different approach, one that doesn't just use AI, it uses AI strategically in a way that makes your applications sound more like you, not less. This is the application factory, and by the end of this video, you will have a real, working system you can start using on your very next application. Let's get into it. Here's what happened in the job market over the last 2 years. AI tools became accessible to everyone: ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. Overnight, any job seeker could produce a polished-sounding resume or cover letter in about 30 seconds. Sounds like a breakthrough, right? It was, until everyone started doing it. Here's the problem. Most people approached AI with the same lazy prompt. Write me a resume. Create a cover letter for this job. And what did they get back? The statistical average of every resume and cover letter the AI had ever seen. Professional? Yes. Polished? Sure. And completely indistinguishable from the 200 other applications in the same inbox. Think about this from a hiring manager's perspective for a second. You're sitting there reviewing 300 applications for one open role. 280 of them start with some version of this. I am writing to express my strong interest in the position. With my proven track record of driving results and demonstrated ability to think outside the box, I am confident I would be a valuable addition to your dynamic team. At some point, your eyes just stop reading. That phrase, proven track record, alone appears in roughly 1 out of every 3 AI-generated applications right now. It means nothing, it says nothing, and hiring managers spot it in under 2 seconds. Here is the real irony. The tool that was supposed to give job seekers an edge became the thing making them invisible. Now here's where it gets interesting. The problem is not AI. The problem is that most people are using AI as a replacement for their voice instead of an amplifier for it. There's a massive difference between those two things, and that difference is what this entire system is built on. Before we build anything, let's get honest about what we're working with. AI is not smart. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but stay with me. What AI actually is, underneath all the impressive output, is an incredibly sophisticated pattern matching system. When you ask it to write a marketing resume, it doesn't think about you, your career, or what makes you different. It predicts the most statistically common sequence of words that follows marketing resume. It gives you the average. That is both its greatest strength and its most significant limitation. Here's what AI does exceptionally well. It organizes information. It structures your thoughts into clear, readable formats. It's fast. A first draft that might take you 3 hours takes 30 seconds. It creates variations. Need 5 different versions of the same bullet point? Done. It finds keywords. It can pull every relevant term from a job description and tell you which ones to prioritize. And it handles the tedious stuff. Reformatting, condensing, adjusting tone, all of that mechanical work it does without complaint. Here's what AI genuinely cannot do without you. It doesn't know your actual stories. The time you saved that project at 2 in the morning. The client relationship you rebuilt after everything fell apart. The promotion you earned after everyone said the goal was unreachable. AI has never lived those moments. Only you have. It can't read between the lines. Every job description is a puzzle. What does the company actually value versus what they say they value? What's the culture really like? What problem are they desperately trying to solve? AI gives you the surface reading. You have to do the deeper work. It doesn't understand strategy. It can't decide which of your 3 experiences matters most for this specific role at this specific company. That requires judgment. That requires you. And it lacks emotional intelligence. It doesn't know how to position a 2-year career gap, a string of short stints, or a major industry pivot in a way that's honest and compelling at the same time. It can try, but without your context, it gets it wrong. So what's the right mental model here? Think of yourself as the architect and AI as the construction crew. An architect doesn't build every wall themselves, but the architect draws every plan, makes every structural decision, chooses every material. The crew builds fast and executes well, but without the architect, they just build boxes. That's what happens when people hand their applications entirely over to AI. They get boxes, generic, forgettable, invisible boxes. Your job is to be the architect. AI handles the execution. Now let's build something. The application factory is a 6-stage framework. It's repeatable, which means once you run through it a few times, it becomes fast. We're talking 60 to 90 minutes per application, down from the 3 to 5 hours that thorough customization used to take. And the quality goes up, not down. Let me walk you through each stage. Stage 1, intelligence gathering. Most people skim the job description and start typing. That's backwards. The job description is a treasure map. Everything you need to beat the ATS, everything you need to speak directly to the hiring manager's real needs, it's all in there. You just have to know how to read it. Here's what you're looking for: the must-have requirements. These are usually listed first or explicitly marked as required. These are non-negotiable. If you can't address these, reconsider whether to apply. The nice-to-haves. These are your bonus points. Hit 3 of 5 and you're ahead of most applicants. The pain points. This is the hidden gold. Most job descriptions, buried in the responsibility section, contain clues about what's actually broken and what this hire is supposed to fix. If a senior manager role mentions rebuilding cross-functional collaboration, something went wrong before you. If a marketing role mentions establishing consistent brand voice, they probably didn't have one. These are your targets. Culture signals. The language companies use reveals everything about the environment. Fast-paced startup means long hours and loose structure. Established industry leader means process, hierarchy, and stability. Neither is bad, they're just different, and your application language should reflect that you understand the difference. Keywords. These are the words that need to appear in your resume for an ATS to flag you as a match. Identify the 10 most important ones. Here's the AI prompt I use for this stage. You are an expert recruiter with 15 years of experience analyzing job descriptions. Analyze this job description and provide the top 5 must-have qualifications, the top 5 nice-to-haves, the top 3 problems this role exists to solve, the 10 most important keywords, culture signals, and any red flags. That one prompt gives you more strategic clarity than most people get in their entire application process. Stage 2, experience mining. Now you know what they need. Stage 2 is about pulling out what you have that matches. The framework I use here is STAR. You've probably heard of it as an interview tool, but it's equally powerful for application writing. S is situation. What was the context or the challenge? T is task. What were you specifically responsible for? A is action. What did you actually do? Not we, not the team. What did you do? R is result. What happened? And whenever possible, put a number on it. If you don't have an exact number, approximate one you can defend. Reduced onboarding time by roughly 30% is honest and specific. Improved team efficiency is useless. If you don't have an exact number, approximate one you can defend. Reduced onboarding time by roughly 30% is honest and specific. Improved team efficiency is useless. Work through your last 3 to 5 positions and build at least 3 star stories from each. You won't use all of them, but having the library gives you options. Stage 3, message architecture. This is the stage almost nobody does, and it's why most applications, even thoughtfully written ones, still miss. Message architecture is the strategy behind what you say. Before you write a single word of your actual application, answer these questions. What is my single sentence value proposition for this specific role? What makes me different from the other qualified candidates applying to this same job? What concern might this hiring manager have about me? A gap, a switch, a short stint? How do I address that concern proactively rather than waiting for them to raise it? What is my strongest piece of proof for this role specifically? Write these answers down. They become the skeleton of your cover letter and the filter for every decision you make about your resume. Stage 4, content creation. Now, and only now, you bring in AI for the writing. This is where most people start, which is why they end up with generic output. By the time you get here, you've done the hard thinking. AI's job is just to execute. The most important principle at this stage, the more context you give AI, the better the output. Compare these 2 prompts. Lazy prompt, write me a cover letter for this marketing manager job. Effective prompt, I am a marketing coordinator with 4 years of experience in B2B SaaS companies. I am applying for a marketing manager role at a healthcare tech startup. My value proposition is that I bring proven digital campaign skills into an industry where most marketers have a compliance background but weak execution experience. My top concern is that they might think I don't understand hyper. My strongest proof point is that I manage privacy compliant campaigns at a fintech company. Write a cover letter that leads with the problem this company faces, connects my experience as the solution, and addresses the concern proactively. One of those prompts produces a cover letter that could have been written for anyone. The other produces something that sounds like it was written specifically for you because you gave AI the architecture first. Stage 5, voice refinement. This is the most important stage and the one most people skip entirely. AI's default voice is corporate neutral. It's professional. Yes, it's also completely soulless. Nobody reads it and thinks, I want to meet this person. Your job at this stage is to read everything AI produced and ask yourself one question for every sentence. Would I actually say this? If the answer is no, rewrite it. Here's the specific list of phrases to hunt and eliminate. Proven track record. Cut it. Leveraging my expertise. Cut it. Passionate about. Cut it unless you can back it up with a specific story. Demonstrated ability to. Cut it. Dynamic team. If you wrote this, please go back and start over. Think outside the box. I shouldn't have to say this, but I will. Results driven. Everyone says this, no one means it specifically. Here's a real transformation I want to show you. AI draft. I have a proven track record of successfully driving customer engagement through innovative digital marketing strategies. Human voice version. I increased email open rates from 18 to 34% in 6 months by testing send times against actual customer behavior data. The first version says something anyone could say. The second version says something only someone who actually did this work could say. That's the goal. Specific, honest, and yours. Read your materials out loud. This is not optional. If you trip over a phrase, if it sounds stiff, if it sounds like a press release, fix it. Your cover letter should sound like the smartest, most prepared version of yourself, talking to the hiring manager directly. Stage 6, quality control. Before you hit submit, run through this checklist. Every factual claim is accurate. Dates, titles, metrics, all verified. No typos or grammatical errors. Read it backwards if you have to. Keywords from the job description appear naturally, not forced. Nothing sounds like AI wrote it and no one edited it. The tone matches the company culture. Every claim you made, you could expand on in an interview. The file name is professional. Resume such Casey such Monroe. Marketing manager.pdf, not resume final v3.pdf. That last one sounds small. It is not small. Here are 5 of the most powerful prompts from the full system. Prompt 1, the job analysis prompt. You are an expert recruiter with 15 years of experience analyzing job descriptions. Run this before you touch your resume. It takes 2 minutes and changes everything. Prompt 2, the star story builder. You are an interview preparation specialist. Help me build a star story from this experience. Build 5 of these before you start any application. Prompt 3, the cover letter opening generator. You are a copywriter who specializes in creating cover letter opening lines that don't sound like AI wrote them. Create 5 different opening lines. Prompt 4, the cliche detector. You are an editor who specializes in removing AI-generated language from professional documents. Run every piece of AI output through this before it ever leaves your screen. Prompt 5, the voice matching tool. You are a communications analyst who studies individual writing styles. Analyze my writing samples for tone, words, and phrases I use frequently, and my level of formality. Let me show you how this system works in practice at scale. You have 10 positions. Most people would spend 50 hours. Here's how to do it in 2. Hour 1 is preparation. Spend 20 minutes running the job analysis prompt across all 10 descriptions. While they're processing, look for patterns. Build a master keyword list. Identify 3 to 5 star stories. Hour 2 is execution. 6 minutes per application. Review the AI analysis, generate 5 opening lines, and adjust your master resume. 30 seconds for a final QC check, 30 seconds to submit. 10 applications, 2 hours. I want to spend a few minutes on 2 situations that trip people up most. The career switcher. You're changing industries. The fix is translation. Every bullet point on your resume needs to be reframed in the language of the target industry. Managed email campaigns for seasonal promotions becomes designed targeted digital campaigns using customer behavioral segmentation. The gap returner. You took time off. Hiring managers want to know if you are current, capable, and committed. Don't hide the gap. Own it. From 2020 to 2024, I managed full-time caregiving while maintaining my skills. Rejection is brutal. It's not a verdict on your worth. The average seeker sends 200 applications for 1 offer. A 99% rejection rate is completely normal. What helps? First, track process goals, not outcome goals. You can't control the callback, but you can control sending 10 tailored applications. Second, build your evidence file, fill it with accomplishments and positive feedback. Rejection is designed to destroy confidence. The answer is not positive thinking, the answer is evidence. Your evidence file is your confidence infrastructure. You are not trying to out-AI other candidates, you are trying to out-human them. The interviews you will land will be won by your authenticity, your specific stories, and your genuine fit. Here's what we covered today, and I want to make sure you walk away with something actionable. You understand why AI-only applications fail. Everyone uses the same prompts and gets the same output. You understand the partnership model. You are the architect. AI is the crew. You have the 6-stage framework: intelligence gathering, experience mining, message architecture, content creation, voice refinement, and quality control. You have 5 high-leverage prompts you can use today. You understand how to handle career switches and gaps with honesty and strategy. And you have a framework for staying resilient through the parts of job searching that don't show up on any checklist. If this video gave you something real today, there are 3 things I would ask you to do. Like this video, it tells me this kind of content is worth making more of, and it helps other job seekers find it. Share it with someone who is in the middle of a job search right now, and subscribe if you want more content like this. One last thing before you close this tab. Your next application is an opportunity to do something different, not better sounding, actually different. More specific, more strategic, and unmistakably yours. The system works, but only if you use it. Go build your application factory.